Never ever use a cold email software that doesn't have the features that I'm going to reveal to you in this video, which is all about the top features that the best cold email software tool must have so that you can crush cold email outreach campaigns. And whether you're an agency owner looking for the best cold email software, a VP of sales, a founder, a growth hacker, this video might be the most important video for anyone who wants to become successful with any cold email software, because it's not just about cold emailing. It's about landing in the primary inbox and bringing highly qualified sales meetings. If you don't know me yet, my name is Patrick Spielman, the founder at Uptics, the best cold email platform for cold email and all of your sales outreach. Now, let's dive into the video and explore the top features that are the most important to get high deliverability, insane open rates, and booking way more meetings than you can possibly handle. All right, so in today's content, I'm going to go through 7 must-haves in a cold email software in order to really land in the inbox, all right? And so my big warning to you is that do not send a single cold email without these features. Now I want to make sure you're aware of what not to use, because I see a lot of people using systems like these and you shouldn't be. All right, so the first thing is marketing software like MailChimp, SendGrid, Go High Level, ActiveCampaign, Sendinblue. I'm not saying these systems suck. They're really good at what they do, but they're not meant to do cold email, especially cold email the right way, and definitely not meant to help you with cold email to land in the inbox. Next, might shock you, are traditional CRM and sales outreach tools like Salesforce, even HubSpot. Outreach, not a traditional CRM necessarily, but a sales outreach tool, right? SalesLoft, even Pipedriver Close. These systems are really good at what they're meant to do. They're not really specialized for cold email. And the last one here is image personalization. Don't be using image personalization, especially in your first cold emails. Now, I love the system Hyperize, for instance. They have a lot of different functionality. We use them, but I don't use them at least for my first email in a cold email. This is a surefire way to end up in spam if you're doing any sort of volume with your cold emails. Cold email is all about email deliverability. It's your number one priority, all right? If you can't land in the inbox using your cold email software, your efforts are going to be totally wasted. So the biggest thing, one of the biggest things, of course, is making sure that you have human-like sending, all right? What this is going to do, it's going to open the gates to your prospect's inbox by telling the email gods, as I like to refer to them as, that your emails are not just another automated email, and there's actually a real person behind it. So you need to use human sending patterns. Let me show you what this looks like. So with your email template first starting off, your email should look like it came from a person, right? So you shouldn't have crazy HTML or anything like that. Now this is just a template in Uptics here, but your email should really look totally human, and it should not look this long. I've got different training on how to write cold emails, so make sure to check that out. I'll put a card above, but it just needs to look like plain Jane text. It need to look like a human email. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step is that the sending algorithm needs to look also human. So we've got a function inside of Uptics where you can pick the delay between your sends, and then the system picks a random second. So it goes by the second, and so it's not just blasting out like every 3 seconds or every 1 second, or flooding the email servers with 2,000 emails all at one time. Right? That's what these marketing softwares do. You don't want that for cold email, okay? Okay, the next thing that you need to do is you need to use a concept called sending distribution. What this does is it rotates your email sends between multiple inboxes. For instance, Pat at Uptics, Dan at Uptics, Eric at Uptics. And then you're using different domains like getuptics.io, .com, .co, emails like that. What this is going to do, if your system can rotate between the sends, it's going to automatically increase your deliverability by spreading your email sending volume across those multiple inboxes, so you reduce the volume of your sends. So here's what sending distribution looks like, which is probably one of the biggest features in a cold email system that almost nobody has, okay? Essentially what you can do when you select your send from email, you can select multiple inboxes. So these are all your burner domains. So what the system does is it rotates between all of these different inboxes, and it spreads the load of that sending, right? So you're not flooding the email servers with massive volume. So this piggybacks on top of that delay. The next thing you need to be cognizant of is the content in your emails. So you need to use a concept called dynamic content rotation. It's called Spintax. Now, what happens is these email gods, they punish you every time you send the same template over and over again. All right. So what Spintax does is it dynamically changes the content in your email with similar phrases to help you avoid the promo tab and potentially even the spam folder. Let me show you what this looks like. So here's an example of Spintax. So it just rotates the content. So essentially, in a system like Uptics, and really no other system has even this nerdy of a feature, but you can just highlight a block of text and you hit Spintax and you can write multiple variations. So when you send your email, it rotates between all those variations. So the more variations you have, the more different versions of the same email template that you already are using. You're just varying the words up ever so slightly. It's super, super easy. And to give you an example, I like to use, the word hi. If you highlight hi, you can say hey, right? And you can do whatever you want. So it's super, super simple, but very impactful. The next thing that you should be doing is when you're buying those burner domains, right? The .co's, the .ios, the, synonym domains, get upticks, things like that. You need to warm those up. And usually this takes 2 to 4 weeks, maybe even longer sometimes. Really just depends on the system. So we have a system called Warmup that helps you do this automatically. It can help you revive old domains, and we even give you unlimited email warming. This is a super simple feature, but let me hop over and show you what this looks like. So as mentioned, Warmup helps you land in the inbox. It helps you establish your sending reputation with new emails and revive even old ones. In Uptics, when you set up a new email account, and at the time of this recording, we're just getting this launched. So if you're watching this right when I release the video, hang tight for just a minute, but super simple. It's not complicated. You just turn it on. Then we're just going to take care of sending emails to other people in our warming pool. And this is going to help establish your domain and IP reputation. So the next thing that I usually see people make the mistake of is not validating their recipients and their prospects' email addresses before they hit send. Okay, if you're not validating emails, you're bouncing. And if you're using lead databases, for instance, there's a good chance that a lot of the emails you're getting from those are invalid emails or catch-all emails. You don't want to be emailing those prospects. Otherwise, you're going to end up having problems with email deliverability, which, as I've already told you, is the number one thing that you really even need to pay attention to when it comes to cold email. So with email validation inside of Uptics, it's super simple. You just come in, and it's even on the onboarding screen. You just toggle this on, and then you just say which type of validations you want to allow. Pretty much for cold email, you only want to send to valid. So that's all you got to really worry about. And the rules are pretty much already on for what they need, but this verifies each email address and makes sure if it's real and helps protect your email sending domain even more. Hey, since you're into cold email, I'd love if you'd subscribe to the channel. I'm posting content all the time about cold email. So if I can help you with cold email and being more successful with that or any of your sales outreach, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel so you get a notification anytime I launch a new video. Now, the next thing you need to be cognizant of are your tracking pixels. So if you're tracking things like opens or clicks, you really shouldn't be doing clicks inside of your cold emails. But if you're at least tracking opens, softwares like Uptics insert tracking pixels to detect if somebody opens the email or clicks a link and stuff like that. If you don't use what's called a custom tracking domain inside of your sending platform, it's using a generic tracking pixel. It's actually reading it. The pixel comes from our domain. You need that tracking pixel to match your domain. So your system that you're using to send needs to allow you to connect to your DNS record settings. This is like a 1-minute task so that that tracking pixel can be custom to your domain. All right. This can help you boost your email deliverability up to 40%, literally instantly, and help you avoid that spam and promo folder. Okay. That next thing on top of that custom tracking domain is a DNS tracker. All right. So this helps you check your DKIM, SPF, DMARC settings, which if you're doing cold email, you need to know what these are. This isn't a training for that necessarily, but just know they're DNS settings that you have to make sure that you have set up so that the email client providers can tell that you're essentially a trusted sender. If they're not set up right, you're going to land in spam, you're not going to get deliverability, and you're really not going to get results. So let's hop back in. I'll show you this again real quick. It's super simple. So with custom tracking domains, let's take a peek under the hood. Inside of Uptics, you can just filter for if your tracking domain's already set up, but we'll just give you an example here. We'll click on this. Essentially, all you do is you copy this CNAME record, you would create one in your DNS settings, put in the word up into the name and upticks.online into the value. And essentially what this does then is it replaces that tracking pixel automatically for you, and it helps you with deliverability. And then you'll notice once you do this, we're going to be able to check to ensure that your DKIM, SPF, and DMARC settings are automatically there for you so that, again, we can make sure that you're landing in the inbox. So if you haven't figured it out yet, Uptics takes deliverability serious. We are the #1 email deliverability software in the business, point blank, period. There's no one that does it better. There's no one that's more focused on it than Uptics. In addition to all the other things that we do, cold email is our superpower. All right. It doesn't just stop there though. Okay. I've got a few bonuses for you to just kind of go over real quick. First of all, any email software at this day and age should, of course, be automating your follow-up. So you should be putting most of your effort, your cold email, into the beginning of the process, that first email, your lead list, setting up your systems and all that kind of stuff. And your follow-ups should really be automated. And of course, a system like Uptics can do this for you all day long. We do it in our sleep. The next thing, since we're really focused on deliverability, personalizing your cold emails is one of the best things that you can use to get results and also vary up your email templates in addition to spin tags. So a system like Uptics has AI generated intro lines built in. We partnered with Line.ai to deliver these, and we've also built our own AI model to deliver these personalized intro lines, which are essentially one-liners that you can use in the beginning of your email, or maybe as like a PS statement to personalize your emails. That's going to help you get attention. The next thing is A/B testing. If you really want to perfect your sequences and you really want to do higher volume, I would obviously suggest for you to be able to do A/B testing and test your different email variations, view stats and analytics and all that kind of stuff. The next thing is bounce protection. So inside of Uptics, and other softwares have this too, some of these features I've talked about, only we have and other platforms don't. No one has everything that I've gone over in this video. But bounce protection, what this does is it automatically takes anybody that bounces and makes sure that you're not sending your follow-up emails. And because over time, as you start sending your second, third, fourth, fifth email in your sequence and you're starting to launch, not just one campaign, but 2 campaigns, 3 campaigns. If you're getting a lot of bounces and if you're not doing that email validation process, really, which you should, of course, if you're watching this video, this bounce protection is another layer to help protect your domain by not automatically sending emails to addresses that have already bounced. And the last thing, a spam checker. A system like Uptics, we have a little spam checker in there. There's not a universal list of words and templates that the email client providers just provide to tell people, what are all the spam trigger words, of course, but there's some universally accepted lists out there that can really help. And by keeping these out of your emails, it can really help make sure that the email client providers aren't looking at those words and then sending you right into the spam folder. That's everything I have for you today. Now, if you want to level up your sales outreach and fill up your calendar, then sign up for a free trial of Uptics, book a call with us, and we'll help you implement all of this crazy stuff into your business, and we'll have you winning customers in no time. We'll see you soon.